Again, this is Jose Trujillo. I'm a fine art artist. I'm coming to you from a corner of my art studio to give you guys a little bit of some art tips, some things that have helped me, and I believe that I can by sharing them with you guys, they can help you. I don't know, who knows, but they certainly learning this has certainly helped me, and here we go. Here's the thing, okay? I want to talk to you about this today. Limitations. Hope you're going to read it. There you go. What are your limitations? As an artist, as a musician, as a photographer, as a painter, as a poet, whatever. What are your limitations? For example, I'm an artist, I'm a painter, right? One of the limitations that I've had is, what do I do? Do I paint with a brush or do I paint with a palette knife? Or you know, a huge limitation for me to accept painting with both. It was a huge limitation. And that hindered me, right? And it made me miss out on different techniques, on different ways of painting, different ways of seeing things, right? And so what I started doing was based on learning from success coaches, and you know, I've long been a student of all of that, you know, kind of sales strategies and learning how to just become a better me, right? And through coaches, through seminars, and just, you know, creating that discipline. And that's one of the things that I've learned. You got to check out your limitations. What is limiting? You know, what limitations have you consciously or unconsciously you've created with yourself? Another limitation could be, I only sell online. I won't do galleries because I had a sour time with the galleries. That's a limitation. So what I want you to do is hear me out here, okay? Whether you're a musician, an artist, a painter, any type of artist, or you're not an artist, maybe you're checking this out and you're an accountant. Check it out. It works. It's the same thing, right? It's all across the board. So get a piece of paper, okay, and cut it in half. On one side, write all of the things that you do, right? For example, I sell artwork on galleries, or I paint with brush, like, you know what I mean? I blah 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 blah, all the things that you do. And on the other side, what you wouldn't do. This is one exercise to help you see the limitations. Like you flip it. For example, I paint with brushes, right? What would be another a foil of that? I paint with a palette knife, or I paint with, I don't know, airbrush, or I paint oils only. What about if I paint acrylics? This is not meant to distract you, because it could easily be turned into that in your mind. Like, oh, I'm going to lose my focus. I don't want to lose my focus. No, you keep your focus. It's just to broaden your horizons, to open your mental paradigms, right? Because many of us have limitations. For example, one of my biggest limitations, I mentioned about the brush and the palette knife. Another one of my limitations was I only sell online. So when people would ask me, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I sell online, but I never saw them really as a prospect. Even though they were face-to-face, you know, talking to me and almost begging me, please sell me a painting. I'd be like, oh, go online, go to my website, you know, check it out there. Because I had an unconscious limitation that I only sell online, or I only sell on Etsy, or I only sell on Amazon or eBay, or I only, you know what I mean? Those are limitations. So one way to start looking at them is to write them down. Write down the things that you already do on one side. Let's call this side A, and then, you know, the other side B. What would be something, for example, I only speak Spanish, right? One thing, you know, like me, I speak Spanish and English, but I only sell to, I'm very used to doing this, English-speaking community, right? I don't know why I've never tapped into the Spanish-speaking community. One of the reasons was probably that I set a limitation saying maybe they don't like the type of art that I do. Maybe they're more focused on a different type of art. Maybe more, you know. So I created that limitation. Those are limitations, guys. Whether you are a musician or a painter, I mean, I'm gonna hammer it again. Figure out what's limiting. You know, what are your walls? Because we all have them. Another set of limitations could also be industry limitations. For example, here's another one. I only paint originals. I don't do prints, right? Why did you say that? Well, because maybe someday you heard it somewhere from a gallery or a blog or somewhere. I don't know. Some someone came up with that, and it really hinders us, right? Someone said, you know what? If you're a real artist, you only do originals. You should never do prints. The people saying that are not paying your bills. Come on, the people saying that they for example, if a gallery says that, the gallery's thinking about them. They're trying to create. In most cases, if they invite you to the gallery or whatever, you manage to get in there, they'll be like, I only want originals. Why? Because they're trying to create that I forgot the word right now. Scarcity. They're trying to create scarcity. So they say we have this great artist. We only have 2 or 3 original pieces, and they're only in this sizes. Well, that's a strategy to sell. It's called a scarcity limitation, right? It's even limited amount, limited quantity, right, of prints or whatever. Those are limitations set by industry. These are, and other people call them sacred cows, right? Sorry about my writing, but I'm gonna be repeating it, so in case you want to take some notes. So you have the personal limitations, right? These are These are the things you do. These are what you do already. This is what you do. These are your personal limitations. What you are not willing to do. For example, I am a painter of only landscapes. Well, if someone asks you for a portrait and you can do portraits, why not talk about how you can do also portraits, right? That's a personal limitation. Industry limitation is you should only do landscapes, and they should all be in this style, and they should all have this sky, or they should all be, I don't know, paintings of cows or paintings of cats or whatever. That's an industry limitation. That's set by a third party that is not looking for the better for you. They're looking out for themselves, how they're perceived, what they think. But really chop this down. I mean, really look into it. For example, if you're a musician, you're a guitarist, right? You may have this limitation. I only play rock and roll. You have this limitation, right? This is what I do. I play rock and roll. I will never play jazz. Or, well, maybe we all love jazz, even if you're a rocker. I mean, jazz is the creme de la creme. If you, I'm a guitarist, that's why. So anyway, I don't play country. I only do rock and roll. That's a limitation. Industry limitation. Don't jump from genre to genre, from different genres. That's a lie, right? You see that all the time. These artists go and collaborate with different people, and that's an industry limitation. Or it's countless. It's countless. I mean, just look for that. Look at what you do. Look at what you're not willing to do, and just look into it. Why am I not doing that? Why am I not talking to my church group? Why am I not talking to this community or that or this? Why am I limiting myself? Why do I have this limitation? It just it just helps you to broaden your imagination and your possibilities, because many times, okay, some of them make sense. Okay, well, I can't do that because it doesn't go with this. But then other stuff, can really broaden you up and put things into perspective and say, you know what? Maybe it's okay for me to go and talk to a gallery. Maybe I do sell online, but maybe it's also okay for me to talk to I don't know, next time we have a house party, or maybe it's okay for me to pass out a business card, to someone who asks me about my painting, or blah, 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 blah. Those are limitations. All right? I'll leave you with that. My name is Jose Trujillo, and I'm here to pass on some of the stuff that I've learned that has helped me tremendously, guys. It's helped me so much, and I know that it can help at least one of you watching this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.